So, like I was saying, the overall message is for Virgo, I Ra, Owl, 9 Crows, the number 146, Beyonce, Rihanna, Oprah Winfrey, and amulets. Highly significant. The zodiac signs of Gemini, Pisces, and Leo, highly significant. What I also didn't say was and Scorpio, because the number 146 is God's intuition, feminine joy, protection, and a cult. So they can be in some sort of cult group, they can have their own cult, whatever. So, like I said, I was explaining what the Eye of Ra meant. You can look that up on your own time, or you can go back to the original message, depending on how I decide to edit this video. Now, because I didn't know what the Eye of Horus was, because it said it was similar, it says the Eye of Ra is like a sun disk, similar to the Eye of Horus. You can wear it to repel negative energy, which originally made me think of the evil eye. And they tell you that it can repel negative energy, but there's different agendas they use with the evil eye in terms of jewelry, down to what kind of jewelry they use to make it. The colors, all of it. Now, in this season, you will see a lot of them. Very vibrant, different colors. Now, what's interesting is this has nothing to do with the topic, but I'm gonna just share from experience, right? I already spoke my piece on how I felt about the evil eye, and it's around the money, $1 trillion. Now, if you're into spirituality, you know they have like the 7 chakra points, and they have colors for each of them. All I'm gonna say is it's quite interesting how the 7 chakra colors have now been somehow, some way used for this Pride Month. That's all I'm gonna say. So the Eye of Horus, it represents protection, health, and restoration. The Eye of Horus is also an Egyptian myth. Lost left eye and struggle with Set, magically restored by Hathor. Now, what was significant, it said lost left eye. The first person I thought about was Left Eye from that group TLC. I'm just leave that at that. Then I was like, who is Set? Who is Hathor? So I had to do more investigation and figure out who these people was. This is not my lane to be precise, but you know, sometimes you can learn new things, and God can show you things through different means. So let's get into it. So Set is a rival of Horus, the god of storms, warfare, and disorder from eyes during battle for throne. So what that tells me, this person said, all he got to do is kind of given a what they would say a Medusa term. How they said she would just look at men and then they would almost crumble, turn to stone. Now, so this man said all he gotta do is look at you and it's up. It's war. Like, you know, it's given kind of like when a mother looks at a child and they just know, all right, chill out. All right, calm down. Or that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Now, out of these 3 celebrities that was named, only 2 of them have that mothering role. So I don't know if Miss Oprah is going to play mediator, or there's something going on with motherly roles at this time. Now, going forward, looking at Hathor, I thought Hathor was a man. Hathor is actually a woman. Hathor was a goddess who restored the eye after battle with his uncle Set. Oh, this is very interesting. Because the way I wrote it, it says goddess restore eye after battle with his uncle Set. Alright, so the uncle is Horus's uncle. Alright, just had to make sure. So what happened with Horus and Set gorges both eyes and buries them. So when Horus was fighting Seth, his uncle. So this is something to do with intermediate families. So even this means this man said took the person's eyes and buried it. So the Scorpio reference is given some sort of reincarnation, because to put something in the dirt from a living being, and then eyes, that means you taking out the sight of somebody. Doesn't want somebody to see anything. It's kind of sounding like Seth was doing something behind the background, but I ain't gonna get into it. So what happened was, Hathor, the goddess, the next morning, so restoration, regeneration, right? The uncle buried the eyes, and then the next morning, so after nighttime, after the Scorpio reference, the next morning was that Leo reference. Hathor anoints with gazelle milk and lotuses the eyes. It never told me, I didn't go that much in depth to know whether the eyes were put back into place, was given, but this lady knew where the eyes were buried. You gotta fill in context clues. Knew where the eyes was buried and then gave it a milk bath. You know, people, they do spiritual baths with milk, and gazelle at that. Gazelle's not the same as a goat, but it sounds very, very, very close to it. So, but a gazelle gives like a feminine undertone to it when you look at the way it is spelled, using context clues. And another thing I found funny is when the gazelle, if you break that animal's name up with number decoding, which you can do with the HS class, it spells GA, which is Georgia, and it says Zell. So there could be these practices still being used in the Georgia state, and people are purchasing this product for spiritual baths to see certain things. Now, the person Set, which is funny because if you think of Set, it sounds like a group, organized group at that, Scorpio reference. Seth, that's also a pretty interesting name. You know, if you look into Seth, I'm sorry, the first person I thought of when I heard the word Seth was Seth Rogen. I'll just leave it at that. So Seth, god of war. His brothers is Osiris and Isis. Brother husband to Nephthyites. Now, brother husband sounds like a man. We already know that it was the uncle of Horus. Then took this man's eyes out because he didn't want him to see something. Now come to find out, brother husband to somebody else. So that means that once his brother, I guess, passed away, to what I don't know how, but once the brother had passed away, he had married his brother's wife and had a mistress, and this same mistress presided over fertility and childbirth. How convenient. Now, the 9 crows reference. Looking into what that is, 9 crows is satisfaction. That's what it means. Knowing that work is done, and happiness again after a hard time. Starting a new cycle, being renewed and reborn. So this could have been some sort of like sun ritual, using the sun's power to manifest through a spiritual bath. It can be in regards to beauty products, because the spiritual bath does use beauty products. And the overall message in regards to these 3 celebrities, I just want to let you guys know, Beyonce is a Virgo, a earth sign. Rihanna is a Pisces, a water sign. And Oprah is an Aquarius, an air sign. All the 3 elements, excluding the sun sign of Leo. So, sun ritual, hey, it might work. Alright, that's the message. Be blessed. I see it at $1 trillion.